the meeting. He was just.
That's just his way of saying, I'm not going to be late, trust me.
That's
She'll be.
So what he likes to be here about 9. No, he's not back. Yeah, it's Grant goes to Manual, so he's all the way on the other side of town. I offer to switch children. There it is. He took the one on the other side of town.
So I just asked if they wanted to do a sharing experience while we're
Where they started he went after it about she's got she's got like Fridays.
Thanks for. We'll go ahead and get started. Mr. Bruin, who's the governing board president, he's dropping off the kids on his way too, and he might reiterate some of the same stuff I'm going to share. But we just wanted to give you an update on where we're at, what we're doing. We're pretty busy here, so I've been working in a very quiet office lately because I need that sustained effort. First thing is our current petition to the State Board of Education. We're still going to Sacramento. I did receive an email from the California Department of Education yesterday that said that the agenda for the State Board of Education will be posted most likely this Friday, March 1st. So the State Board meeting is 2 days. It's either March 13th. It's 2 days, March 13th and March 14th. We should know which day we're going to be, hopefully this Friday, if not probably Monday at the latest, once they post their agenda.
And they also have specific blocks of time, so we will know what time to show up. We don't necessarily have to go first thing in the morning.
No, the board meetings, the chairperson can move and adjust as necessary. That's what we were told.
So you still want us there in the morning, even if we're not scheduled till
because you just
later?
don't know.
Right.
That's fine.
Those of you that are going, and if you know people that are going, you can share this with them. The way the meetings work is the chair, the president of the state board can move around agenda items. So we recommend getting there at the beginning. It starts at 8:30. There'll be a clipboard to sign in for public comments on a specific agenda item or agenda item. You'll have a minute, which goes by fast, to present your case. And what I would recommend of those of you going, those of you that know people that are going, to really explain why you choose her, why you feel it is the best school for your child. That's what they want to hear. And why it's the only public school option. There are some other public school options, but it's an independent study, 7 through 12. Other than that, you have private school and the district. Okay? So explain why you choose to send your kids here to charter and why it is the only and best option for your child. That's what they want. That's what I would focus on. Once you're at the meeting and you sign in, if they don't move the agenda items around, I would say it's, depending on where we're at, last time we were at the very end, feel free to go to an overflow room or make sure that some key people have your numbers so that if they move something up or change the agenda, we can text and let you know, get over here. But you don't have to hang around the entire time. It's going to be 2 very long days.
There's a couple of restaurants and places nearby. People can sit there until.
Yeah. The California Department of Education is right across the street from the Capitol Park, and there's plenty of things to do on the park. You want to see?
Sorry. So speaking of the trip to Sacramento, we did put the notice out for those who are interested, just to let me know. And I know we have a couple people that are going. So if you would like to go, join in a carpool. I mean, it just kind of helps knowing who's going, so that if there is room in your van or your car.
In the morning because I get car sick, so I can't just drive the whole way. So that's the only thing is that we're working.
Right.
Probably don't want to leave till after school. We're going up the day before.
Yeah, and if there's a chance that it works out a trip out of it.
So people are welcome to join us. We just need to be able to leave that Tuesday morning. Yeah.
So once I have all the definites on who's going, how many spaces they have, I will get that information out to everyone so that those who would like to go but just can't drive, or, you know, again, would like to just get in a car with someone, can make those arrangements.
Also, when you go there, you have to have your ID to get into the meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Not everybody knows that, because I didn't, and they left.
I threw mine in my pocket just in case. It's
Yeah.
like, why are you doing it? Like, you just
I thought they were taking the car, because I didn't want to carry anything
If
around.
you go to the meeting, there's a front desk, you show them your ID, you sign in, they give you a little pink sticker, and that shows that you're a visitor, so.
Oh, one other thing too, because we have one parent donate. So if you're saying, I can't go, but I can do a $10, $15 gas card towards the, you know, to help someone else get there, that's open too. If you could just like leave it in the office with my name on it, I'll make sure that I can help distribute that.
That's $150.
Because it is expensive, you know, gas, going and coming, but that's just an option for those who can't.
So if you can't go, if you know someone who wants to go, please contact me. Call, email, let her know in person. We're putting together a list, and then we'll have more details probably Friday or Monday once we know the agenda and what's going on. So that's one track we're doing. The second track we're doing is we're working on a way, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Bruin to explain as well.
Welcome. Where are you?
We explained our current track with State Board of Education and what we're doing in travel, and the agenda is going to be posted on Friday, hopefully, so we'll know which day, whether we're the 13th or 14th. And so the other track that we're doing at the same time is we're working with local entities, the county, the school district, to make sure that there is a public school option available. So, you know, we're still fighting like heck for the state board. But if that were not to happen, we have an option. And I'll let Mr. Bruin, if he wants to, I can keep going. Or you?
No, that's fine. I don't mind coming. Good morning. I apologize for being late. My second child decided to hit slow gear this morning. I'm literally dragging it to school. So, first and foremost, I want to reiterate what Steve said. That SVE still is our first and primary option. Okay? So above all other comments, SVE remains our first and primary option. We still actively need your support. We still actively need your help. We still actively need your voices. We are continuing to work back channels and communications and everything towards that SVE here. Okay? We are going in there with a different presentation this time. Very different presentation. I would say a huge emphasis of the presentation is on the fact that there would be no other elementary charter option within this community if it was eliminated. So we've tried to explain the scores. We've tried to explain different issues, and we think that the best tactic that we're seeing gain traction is the idea that they would be eliminating all parental choice within a rural community. Okay. So please continue to work on this meeting and work with us. The second option, the board will consider in a motion this evening a resolution by the Ridgecrest Charter School Corporation, which you understand that the school is an entity of a corporation, which the corporation owns the assets of the school.
No, I can chime in. So RCS has its own not-for-profit public benefit corporation.
Right. And that's so that it's an accounting purpose, so that when you're talking about who owns the land, who owns the building, how are the assets owned. So as a public entity, as a public charter, the school itself is not the owner of the assets, but the corporation, not-for-profit public benefit corporation is the actual owner.
So it's almost like a doing business act.
Right. The board will consider this evening a proposition to amend our corporate bylaws that allow the charter to have more than one school.
So another school next sponsor.
So that the corporation may petition for an additional campus or an additional school in the event that RCS is denied its petition.
And the new school would take over this campus.
The assets would remain the ownership of the corporation,
Who could use their assets for their use?
which they could use those assets for any purpose if they found this is required.
And so would it still be K through 8?
I'm not going to comment on what it's going to look
I'm
like.
hearing things and just,
I can't comment on what it would look like right now.
okay,
I can't comment how it would be chartered right now.
okay.
All I can tell you is the two things, which is I spoke a week ago and I said that I'm very confident. Come here, Gabby. Gabby.
He's not having
So what I'm going to say is that we as an administration, as a board, are confident that the entities that we need to work through that process are in support and are highly supportive of what direction we're going.
So what's our timeline? If we have to go with Plan B?
We hope that everything will be finalized by mid-April.
Okay. So whether it's we stay open or a new petition, if a new petition, I'm assuming that the corporation puts out a new petition for a new school, do they have to go through the same process that we just went through? So is there going to be a gap and we're not going to have an
So
option?
the process is, we have to go to the local districts here at Sands, and they make a decision. If they don't approve, then it goes to the county office of education.
Okay.
Well,
And then if
then it goes to an appealing organization, which in this case we would appeal to the county rather than to the state.
Oh,
The reason why we couldn't go to the county under our current school is because the law says that as a state board authorized charter school, we have to go to the local district, then
Then
go
to the state.
to the state. We can't go to the county.
The April date, which Ms. Martin has indicated, is the date by which we hope to be able to give parents assurances that they're of where we're headed.
right.
I think that we will have those assurances and even more transparency, more information by mid-March. And then all of the dates and all of the tactics that are being used are to ensure that the campus is open in the fall.
I'm just wondering, should we be planning for another trip to Sacramento to help?
Not after the March one. Not after the March one.
Okay.
I had a couple of parents ask me, should they be going ahead and looking at putting their names on lists at the other schools, just in case, and if something is worked out, pull their names off the list, so they have a backup.
That's a personal decision.
That's a parent choice.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how that parent wants to choose to investigate what the amount of time what they need to feel comfortable in information. I can tell you that our goal is to make sure that as this school year wraps up, that the parent is not guessing where their child will be.
Yeah, because that's their concern is they want their child to stay here, but, if once, the decision is made, every other school is gonna have a lottery and a wait list. And so they're like, should I put my name on it now and then pull it off once it's decided?
And understand that they don't have the wait list and the SSUSD is not, I believe, as ready for those things right now either. I will tell you that the level of communication is improving.
Did they respond? Didn't we issue a letter, I think you had said you
Well, yeah, we've
wrote
asked
to
them.
them?
And
Because,
that's what I'm trying to say is it's improving. They're not responding. I can't speak on their behalf or what
so they've not responded with,
I don't know what their public response is.
okay.
But communication is
But communication is occurring.
Okay.
As I said, I cannot speak to what their public response is.
Right.
I can only speak to what ours. Huh?
I see my question's a little bit on a different vein. Who runs the nonprofit? Who's the president of that?
The board of directors.
Okay.
So the board of directors, governing board, runs the nonprofit. And
Well, we assign the management of the nonprofit is in our administrative team, but the governing body of the nonprofit is there.
they're my boss.
Okay.
They're our bosses.
Just reminded how that line is.
And it's structured very similar to a lot of other organizations and school districts.
We're charter schools. And I mean, if you know how charters have grown, especially over the past, decade, there are schools that open as a corporation. They open one campus, and they open two, then they have 8 within, a decade. And what that is that their corporation expands based on
Just so you know, there's a separate board for
for the school
nonprofit
versus the nonprofit. No.
But just to be clear, we're not opening multiple schools.
That happens in the big city.
We're focused on having a school.
We're focused on ensuring that the most number of students that we can or protect parental choice and their environment, that we do that.
And I also want to say that we've gotten to this point because of our teachers and our support staff and our parents and our students and our governing board.
Yes.
We've literally traversed the state, literally been sending emails on phone calls. Staff has been doing that. We've gotten to this point because of everyone's work. It's not just us, but they are listening. I mean, I got a response from somebody that said, "Can you tell people stop sending emails?"
Right, yeah.
Okay, give us your back some.
So they very much well managed.
I spoke to the superintendent, and one of my concerns was, let me just back up. Have you guys given him information on where your students are located? Because his concern with me was if this falls through, he doesn't even know where these kids are zoned.
Yes.
So he has that info now?
There's been
Okay.
Yeah,
consistent interchange of information over the last few years.
I mean, I obviously believe in this and want it to happen, but it didn't. I don't want to see our hands be like, well.
No, there's been consistent information exchange over the last couple. Since we came back from the ACCS hearing, there's been an escalated level of communication and information exchange. I think everybody came back from that hearing in a bit of a state of shock. And immediately we went to work. I mean, we were already working before that, but we went to a different, level of thought process.
You seemed a little surprised. That was fun.
well, we
I think that's a pretty good assessment.
of course we want to, have a school choice here, but if it weren't to work out, we want to make sure that families, there's a smooth transition. We're working in case that were to happen, but we're still focused on this. A lot of different happens.
I guess the biggest message for all the parents is whatever happens, understand that whatever happens, that the efforts of the board, the administration, have always been and will continue to be in the interest of the students and in the interest of the most that we can serve. And that's kind of an overwhelming, I hope, message I hope that everyone receives, that we're doing everything we can to make it as feasible and as functional. But what are you doing?
He's stealing the show.
Well, either he's moving or he's playing with somebody. I mean, if you're doing this in my arm, you having a baby moment?
Board meeting tonight at 5, I was just going to say, so that if you guys think about questions you didn't have now and would like to present them to the entire board, there's a meeting tonight at 5.
So can I just summarize just to make sure I got all that? Okay. So the board's going to vote on a resolution tonight to give the corporation an option to execute or move on to Plan B, which would be opening another school potentially, maybe, I don't know.
Petitioning for a potential.
Shot for whatever nebulous thing that to be determined at a later date. Right. the goal is by April, that we'll know something either way.
I think by the end of March, parents will have some much clearer direction on where we're going.
Okay.
And by the end of April, we hope to have much more clear information on lotteries,
Got
campuses, grades.
it. So by April,
all
we'll
of those.
know kind of, okay, this.
By the end of the school year, you would not be in a position where you are guessing.
I can say with, you know, a fair amount of confidence, not certainty, that by late April, you'll know. You'll have all the information. And next
Well,
week.
I mean, you may not have all the information. I don't want to put Steve on the problem. I want to back it up and say you'll have a very clear direction of where we're going, and things like okay, so what is who's my teacher's going to be? Who's this going to be? What's going to be of that? Those types of things are still going to be filled in. I just want to make sure that I'm
Just a little where our kids are going to school. That's
correct. I just want to be clear about what I'm trying to. That you understand that if again, reiterating, first and foremost, our ultimate goal is to get the State Board of Education on the 13th and 14th to approve RCS with a cure, first and foremost. Okay? That preserves our school and the state it's in, and all the other things we've been doing. Okay? And I want to reiterate a few of those just so the parents are clear. Things like free lunch. Things like all of our grades. Things like our grant programs. All of those things belong to RCS. If we have to go through the process of reapplying for those things and reassessing those things and getting those things back up and running, it's very possible that a new school would not have those things by the fall. Do you understand? So ultimately, SVE is our first and foremost goal. I just want that to be the message that comes out from every parent and anybody who's listening, that that's the first goal. The second is to ensure that we have options.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And we'll make sure that those that by the end of the school year you would be as a parent. Because as I've stated before, most of the ladies here, if I don't have her options for her by then, I'm dead.
So just as Hope said, we'll have a meeting tonight at 5, so if other parents want to come, staff, teachers, support staff. It has a public comment too, so just like a board meeting following kind of Robert's Rules of Order, you'll have an opportunity to make a statement if you want to.
And we're not following the rules to the letter of Roberts because we are allowing some dialogue to a person so you can, if you have questions, the parents are getting information. We don't want there to be this is a meeting, you're not allowed to ask. We want you to ask the question. We want to get the information that is best for you.
I think it's the best way to get valid information. We can't respond to all of the social media stuff or rumors that are out there. So if you want valid information, the board meeting is the best place to ask those questions and to get that information from the
Or these meetings too.
or this type of meeting.
Yeah, let me hear this.
It'll be in this room.
What is it?
Any other questions or anything else? Anybody? All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming.
Okay. You have to go back to that meeting.